Episode 4 of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, titled The Foundling, shows us more about the Mandalorian culture, and specifically more about the way of the Children of the Watch than we've ever seen before. And Shirley begins foreshadowing a very important connection near the end of this episode that I'm curious to see if you caught. This is Star Wars Music Analysis. The episode opens on a large training session of all the Mandalorians in the covert. The music does just enough to keep energy in this scene without creating tension, as they simply train and aren't actively fighting anything. But the music calms down as Bogoton looks over to Grogu on the bank, a calmer approach to the day than the other Mandalorians. Also, and this is totally random, but did anyone else notice that they just reused the same shot here? Watch the warrior in the background. It's fine, but does indicate a moment of carelessness in an otherwise well-made show. As Grogu is placed into the challenge ring, the music exits temporarily.
Next challenger.
It returns with the similar beat as before as the challenge is made and accepted, and it's cool to see Din immediately fall back into knowing everything about how to be part of the Children of the Watch.
One does not speak unless one knows. Is that not the creed?
Well, I know.
Perhaps this lesson is for you then.
And Grogu's looks at Din during this are priceless. But the music slowly builds throughout this little showdown, leading to its climax as Grogu uses the Force and defeats little Mandalorian brat.
3 points. Winner.
Afterwards, a short entrance of Grogu's theme comes in, something we haven't heard since his training with Luke during the Book of Boba Fett. If you've never seen my breakdowns from that show, you can check them out using the link in the top right of your screen. But as his theme settles away, it's replaced by the low booms and attacks of percussion and brass attacks as the Mandalorian brat is taken by the raptor. And as they all run out of fuel from their jetpacks, we see Bogoton blasting by them in her ship, at which point Din has to be wondering why he didn't think of that as well. As we see Bo continue to chase the raptor, her motif or theme of attack plays in the low strings. It plays again as she returns and speaks with the rest of the covert. As Din leaves Grogu at home with Aunt Armorer, she begins telling him more about her role and the way. As she does so, an orchestral version of her theme plays. This is probably the best and most clear rendition of her theme that we've ever heard.
We all begin.
But as she continues, it starts to trigger flashbacks for Grogu of Order 66, and I was not expecting this, but it leads to us seeing how Grogu was saved. And I immediately want to know more about this guy. His name is Kelleran Beck, and he's actually played by actor Ahmed Best, who actually also played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels. So this is a pretty cool connection and little Easter egg here as well. The music stays as a low continuing ostinato in the background for much of this, keeping us in suspense while not getting in the way. As the chase continues, we see Grogu and the Jedi emerge right where we saw Dr. Pershing in last week's episode. And as we do, a short statement of the first 2 chords from Coruscant's theme come in, reminding us of everything that occurred last week. As we return to the armor and she gives him his next piece of armor, we hear more of Grogu's theme come in, connecting directly to the intensity of everything we just heard.
As you grow into your station, Foundling Grogu.
After this, we jump back to the hunters in Bo-Katan's ship, and her heroic theme plays as the ship comes to rest. As they continue, pulses in the synth push the music forward and accompany tribal flutes and drums. Later, as Bo removes her helmet alone next to the fire, her theme enters again, but in a very tender solo horn line. This completely changes the context of this theme, and when we hear that solo horn, it immediately points us toward a character's own inner and self-reflection. I have to imagine at this point that Bogoton is in deep thought about her path, but we also once again begin to see that she is a natural leader as she leads this war party. As she does lead the party onward, her theme plays again, but now with the entire French horn section reflecting her rejoining with others in strength. The music gets eerier as they near the raptor's nest and climb into it. But as Paz Vizsla messes everything up and rushes across the nest, intense music begins to play. It continues underneath as they chase after the raptor.
Take my hand!
As Din rescues the Mandalorian brat, his guitar cue hits right at the moment that he's able to grab the kid. This is immediately followed by the brass taking up the perfect fifth call in triumph. And watching this, I couldn't help but be reminded of
There's always a bigger fish.
As the party returns, a variation of the Armorer's theme plays as an ostinato. But as Bogoton asks to wear the sigil of the Mythosar on one arm, the Mythosar's theme comes in. It's very different here from how we heard it in episode 2, raging in the brass. Instead, it's taken up by a solo oboe here, reflecting the hesitancy and withholding of more information. For now, Bo continues to hold this truth close to her.
All Mandalorians. It is always acceptable to wear.
I would like
It seems to vanish as quickly as it was there each time, just like the mythical creature. As the sigil is placed on Bo, her heroic theme enters,
You will see many things.
further connecting these two characters and ideas and likely foreshadowing at the plot of future episodes. These two continue to connect as the Mythosar theme comes back one more time at the end of the scene. I think Shirley is telling us everything upcoming here. These two characters, Bogoton and the Mythosar, are intertwined. It showed itself to her, not Din, and I think we'll eventually see Bo take the Darksaber from Din and retake the throne of Mandalore, while also taming the Mythosar. But I would love to know what you all think as well. Do you think Bogoton or Din Djarin will eventually be the true ruler of Mandalore and wielder of the Darksaber? I love how well the show is keeping us in suspense. What did you think of the reveal of Grogu's escape from Coruscant? Do you think we'll get any more on that this season, or will they continue to keep us in suspense about that as well? Do you think this Jedi could still be alive somewhere in the universe? And what do you think is going on with Dr. Pershing? Do you think he's even still alive? Tell me in the comments below what you think. Consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.